What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I got a very fun one for you guys. If you're thinking about moving down to Albuquerque, I'm gonna be going over in a whole map tour the top areas most people are moving to. So you're gonna wanna grab your pen and your pad because it's about to get fun. Let's go. All right, guys, we are back inside. We're gonna be pulling up the map. We're gonna be taking a look at Google Earth and everything here. That way we can really pinpoint these different areas and neighborhoods and different things that you can expect when it comes to living in these top areas that people are moving to. And if you are planning on moving down here, again, my name is Eli. And if this is your first time tuning in to the Living in Albuquerque channel, do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque and surrounding cities have to offer. Now, aside from doing these videos, guys, I'm also a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico. And as much as I love doing this, I would love to help you out with your real estate needs. So that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And if you are planning on moving down here within the next 30, 60, or 90 days, me and my team would love to hop on a quick video call with you guys to really talk about everything that it's gonna take in order to get you down here as fast and as smooth as possible. So enough of me blabbering off, let's get right into the maps, right? All right, guys, now hopping right into the maps, we're gonna be looking at Albuquerque as a whole here. Now, if you guys can see, Albuquerque's pretty big, and there's a lot of different neighborhoods and a lot of stuff going on here. So I don't want to emphasize on all these little nooks and crannies. I really want to dive into the specific areas that people are calling us about and really asking us questions to see if it's going to be a potential fit. So first one up on this list, guys, is going to be the Nob Hill area. To give you guys an idea of where Nob Hill is at, we're going to hop into kind of like a landmark area for Albuquerque. It's going to be Old Town. Really emphasizing on where Old Town is at. It's going to be pretty much next to the heart of the city. Now, there's going to be a lot of things going on there too, and we've made other videos touching on why Old Town is so important and what different amenities they offer to that. So go and check those videos out. But for the sake of this one here, we're going to give you guys a perspective of where Nob Hill is at. So keep this in mind, right? This is where the old church, the gazebo, right? The gazebo is going to be at, and you guys seen plenty of B-roll that I put on here on the video. So it's really looking to Nob Hill. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but to be honest with you guys, this area gets looped in or cut into half when people talk about this area, because UNM is so close to it that it really is the UNM/Nob Hill area. And with everything that this place has to offer, it's a super sought out area. Also because it's centrally located and it's close to a bunch of different amenities, right? You got like the new Whole Foods that's up here up the street. You got UNM Hospital, and really from Old Town, you're gonna be about, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes away, because for the majority, you are gonna be driving through Central here, right? Because it's gonna be the most easiest and convenient way for you to get to Nob Hill. Now, this is gonna be Lomas, where Central and Lomas kind of break off, and this allows another route for you to access different areas within that Nob Hill community through the back end. And I really don't recommend going through the freeway because it's going to kind of loop you back around. But if you wanted to, of course, you can hit Rio Grande, hop on the 40, and then go down to Carlisle, which will be just pretty much a straight shot. So if you do get stuck and you want to find a way out, again, Albuquerque is built like a grid, so it's going to be very easy for you to navigate these streets to find your way to Nob Hill. But let's dive into this area and really take a look at what it has to offer. Now, right off the bat, guys, there is some things that I want to talk about here that we've brought up on the channel before, right? And it's going to be places like Little Bear Coffee. That is such an awesome place. It's super unique and rustic looking. They got a lot of ironwork, cement work, and it's super open and airy when you go in there. And they have this awesome patio area that a lot of people get to enjoy. And the name of this particular spot is Little Bear Coffee and Stuff, because they have a little shop attached to it where a lot of different vendors get to display their work, right? Whether it's a local vendor or some kind of pop-up event, it's going to be happening there. And then you also have Two Fools, which has awesome fish and chips, good bar. It's really dressed up like an old school tavern. When you walk in there, it's like kind of dark, kind of dreary, makes you feel that old essence of kind of like an Irish bar. It's super cool. And then you are going to have Michael Thomas, which is also another fan favorite of the neighborhood there. Super dedicated to like the people who use this street right here are going to be Silver, because there is a bike lane that goes through there that cuts all of this. It makes it really convenient for people to travel through this Nob Hill area on the south side. So another good place is going to be the Flying Star Cafe. Really good food, good drinks, whether you're wanting wine or a beer or just coffee or chai tea latte like I do. This is going to be a good place for you guys to enjoy. Now, changing the layer here, you guys can see that, yes, Albuquerque is a desert, it's high desert, whatever you want to call it, but there's a ton of greenery, and you can see all the little parks that are tucked all around here, right? You are going to have like the Monte Vista Elementary School, which is a pretty big school in essence. It looks kind of old school, like a church. Pretty cool when you pass by it there. It's very old school looking. And then just to kind of give you guys an idea of what the houses look like, they are going to be these bigger lots and very unique houses to where it almost feels like none of the houses look the same here. So it's not going to be your typical cookie cutter neighborhood. Going to be very unique properties here. You're going to have alleyways that access the houses to the back and bigger lots, right? Some of the houses face the actual main roads, things like that. So when we're looking at this neighborhood, if you are thinking about moving to Nob Hill, think super walkable because of all the different amenities that you have there. Bigger lots, older homes for sure, and very unique homes. There is very few homes in this area that are newer, and we might run into some of them here. So let's really just jump into the streets and take a look, right? All right, guys, really jumping into the streets, right? You're gonna see that Southwest charm here. Very unique homes, and they're not going to be massive or anything like that. They're going to be just regular single family homes. A lot of them have been redone, right? Landscaped and made up to par, a little newer. And believe it or not, people that are moving down into this area really look for this kind of old school charm when they are shopping here, because it provides some kind of essence that it's going to be that Southwest old school New Mexico thing, right? A lot of greenery. You're gonna see a lot of these yucca trees everywhere. Cactus is gonna be super popular down here, right? Like this neighbor got cactus all in the yard. Personally, I'm not fond of this. I got kiddos, so maybe you're like me. You're gonna be like this guy right here, where you just take everything out, right? Again, bigger front yards. That person doesn't want you to see their house, right? Detached garages are super popular back here because, again, these older neighborhoods, attached one, but it's really a mix, guys. Like I told you before, just depending on, you know, what side of Nob Hill you're living on, you are going to get front porches, adobe style Southwest homes, right? Grass, believe it or not, grass is a really big thing here. You are going to get some more type of style of garages that are on the side. Very unique, like I'm telling you guys. Not one house looks the same. And when you go down to really experience this, right? See? Garage on the side. This looks like an actual, you know, attached dwelling unit. It looked like it was a garage once that they turned it into an additional dwelling unit to make some more income. If you guys are interested in investing and all that kind of stuff, I can walk you through some of these areas. And Albuquerque just recently put out a new law where they are encouraging people to add more dwellings or ADUs to their houses to encourage people to provide more housing because of the housing shortage that we are experiencing here in this year. So super cool area. Again, very unique features to the neighborhoods, to the houses, right? For a majority of the houses here, they're going to be remodeled and done up, some untouched, because some of the features here are just, you know, almost like historical landmarks in a sense. And believe it or not, there is some houses within here that are historical landmarks, and once you get that stamped on you, you get that tag as far as being a historical landmark or historical house, there's no going back, and there's no really changing anything besides really what's on the inside. So again, super close to Central. This is going to be the art bus that runs every 15 minutes. And if we take a trip down, right, we're going to see all these different restaurants and things you can expect. Again, very walkable, right? People walking all up and down the street. You're going to have Fang Tang, which is a super popular restaurant in this area, Asian cuisine. Believe it or not, they also have their own local supermarket tucked in the back over here, local market, and they sell everything super fresh. Gotta check them out, guys. Now, when we are talking about this area, guys, you're gonna have to keep in mind that the average price home is gonna range around $395,000. So let's take a look at the MLS, see if there's anything on the market right now to kind of compare and contrast of some different homes to see if they appeal to you guys. Alrighty, guys, now this right here is the MLS. letting you guys into my world here, and no particular order, nothing really that I'm kind of really picking out that stands out to me. I'm really just gonna kind of shoot from the hip here and hope for the best, so hang in there with me. So let's just pick on this guy here just because we were just off of copper. Now you guys can see that although the average price home around this area was $395,000, you are going to be seeing this price tag go up at $850,000, right? So really this house is going to be an awesome looking house. Just taking a look at the photos, right? We got over 3,000 square feet, 4 bedroom, 4 bath. And again, like I told you guys, right, it's going to be called UNM Nob Hill area. As a local, we call it the Nob Hill area, not really the UNM area. But yeah, check out this guy here, right? Super updated. You got that rustic kind of feel where the exposed beams, black countertops, the wood, like super cool. Again, right, detached garage, super updated and modern looking, industrial, super unique features in this house, exposed HVAC, and it's gonna be pretty much this all around that area because it's super artsy and a little bit more upper class. You're gonna have some different things that people are gonna be really intricate with and eccentric when it comes to building their homes and adding different kinds of features, right? Like this house right here is just crazy. And for close to around that $1 million mark, this is what you can expect, right? And it looks like it's 2 houses in one, right? And this is super popular, whether you want to convert the back house into a separate dwelling or you just want to live in both of them. It's going to be totally up to you. So this is probably the original house, and they got permits to, you know, erect this second structure. So now we're looking at the original house, very southwest, very modern, updated. And I get questions asked all the time, what is this hole down here? And that's the old radiant heat that used to come from the floor there. Kind of crazy and creepy when you're walking over those things. I always feel like I'm gonna fall through the floor. Closed off kitchen, probably an adobe house just by taking a look at the walls here and the texture on it. Some of these walls here in the adobe houses are going to be super thick and they cannot be changed. So keep in mind that if you do want to change something in these adobe houses, it's probably going to be impossible. Super great when it comes to insulation though. In the wintertime, it's going to be nice and warm, and in the summertime, it's going to be super easy to keep cool. So hers got nothing on adobe, and that's just kind of like an inside joke here. Keep in mind that when people were building these houses back in the day, they were more of on the utilitarian side of being sure that the space works for them and what they have, right? So whether it was a family of 2 or 3, they were building, you know, the exact space for the exact need that they wanted, because it was more than likely you building that space and you weren't subcontracting out or finding somebody to build these houses for you. So really the people who like bought the piece of dirt, built the houses themselves, very DIY. And again, Albuquerque, New Mexico is very known for that, being DIY and very, very involved when it comes to building the things that they want, the way that they want. Or gosh, cut that out, Heats, and let's say very specific in building things the way that they want, literally. Now let's hop back into the MLS and see what else we can find. Let's take a look at something a little bit more off of Marble, which if you live in Albuquerque, Marble is a super famous street because it's one of the bigger breweries here. So higher end homes here on this side, as you guys can already see, it's very modern from the first picture. The price has been reduced, $2,200, and that'd be a massive house, be a warehouse. 2,200 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, very updated, very modern, farmhouse style looking. On the outside, it's still very New Mexico. I'm very curious to know what this other door is, possibly an additional dwelling unit, but very bright, very open. They mix the colors well with the hardwood. This is the style that I like. I don't like being in spaces that feel super confined. I like the recessed sliding. The windows are very big and very bright, right? You got that big front window so you can see who's coming. If you're anything like me, I want to know who's at the door. But man, these are massive, beautiful windows, and this old school fireplace just makes the space even way that much better. And you are going to see a lot of these things here. When I get asked what those things are mini splits. If you live in Colorado or any place up north, you are going to recognize these guys a lot, because most of the houses aren't built with HVAC. And again, the original homeowners were building these houses and didn't have that in mind. So the houses were really pretty much cooled and heated with the fireplace or opening the windows. Very old school. But obviously nowadays they've added these mini splits, making it a lot easier for you to heat and cool your house. Super energy efficient too as well. Got this cool little sunroom attached to the master bedroom. Man, that's super awesome. That's cool. Again, really making do with the space that they have, making it very useful. I'm sure those spaces were added. And this texture here on this wall, log looking, that's freaking cool. Like I told you guys, not a lot of the houses in this area are gonna be the same, right? And this looks like it might be that extra space that we were looking at, right? Got a little sink, a little bar. It actually might be a little hangout area that the homeowners had, that way that they can keep everything separate from the original house, and potentially could be an apartment. You know, you can rent it out, make some extra cash. Got its own heating source, again, right? Fire, or again, a wood stove. Something that is just a staple of ours here. Man, that walk-in shower is freaking cool. Yeah, man, no, the only thing that gets me here is the spaces are super confined at times, because they're trying to make as much as they can with the space that they've been giving. But really, I tell you guys, Mexico is just not desert. Check out all this evergreen. These are obviously dead because they took these pictures here in the wintertime, but I can just assume that in the spring coming up, you know, this is gonna bloom very beautifully, give tons of shade. Looks like it's a little walkway that you can just kind of walk back there and enjoy a couple of laps. Looks like they got a detached space. What is that, to do yoga, hang out, and have a nice fire? Awesome space to live in for around $500,000, which you really can't buy this type of house really anywhere else but in Nob Hill. So let's take a look at one more, guys, see what we got here. All right, now we're coming down in price point, around to the 400s, 450. See what this guy has to offer. All right, now this home right here is just pretty cool, right? Again, an essence of old school Southwest charm. You're looking at the garage right up at the front. Got this New Mexico style door, some cool print. As soon as you walk in, the space just opens up. Like, this is crazy. This wood burning fireplace with this awesome living area makes the house really feel open. You got like this kind of wet bar area in the back. I'm assuming the kitchen is probably right up in the middle there. So cool light features, some old school light features, right? Skylights to really bring in that light from the day. This modern looking kitchen. I mean, you got some updates through here, and I mean, unique features again, right? You got these exposed beams that really give a contrast to the space, this under lighting under the cabinets, this workspace in the back. This is cool, man. You got the French doors, open them right up, let you back into the space. A room with the French doors. Looks like a kiddo's room with the French doors. I don't know how I feel about my kiddos having French doors to the room, wanting to be up late at night and just hanging out outside. I knew personally I thought that would have been super cool growing up, but not my kiddos. I don't know how I feel about this. What do you guys think? Carpet in kind of like the bathroom, closet area. This is, again, very unique. Not my cup of tea, but definitely the shower is cool. Got a bidet. Yeah, bidets. We got bidets in Albuquerque. We bougie. This bougie fireplace. And I've only seen these in like luxury cabins and stuff like that, so super cool to see that kind of feature inside of a room, because it's going to make it really nice and cozy, especially during that winter time, like that snowfall we recently had. Washroom, got its nice little area there to wash up your hands, separate place to put your tools. Very utilitarian house. And man, they're growing corn, or is that bamboo? Corn or bamboo, one of the two. Greenhouse area, really making do with the space, right? It might seem like it's tiny, but these lots are pretty big, and that's why you're paying that heftier price tag for an older home, because there's tons to offer within the area. You're centrally located, the houses are super unique, and the yards are a little bit bigger than those cookie cutter style neighborhoods up in the Westgate Heights, which we're going to be talking about here in a second. So we didn't dive into a whole lot, but that is Nob Hill. Let's hop into the next area and talk about that. Now, up next up on the list, guys, is going to be the Westgate Heights. Not to be confused with the Southwest Heights, even though it's one of those areas that gets interchanged. Google Maps recognizes it as Westgate Heights for a reason. We recognize it as the Southwest Heights just because it's always been called that. So very weird, kind of let you guys into my world of what's going on here. And this area is just going to be super cookie cutter residential area with newer developments going up, because as you can see, all of this over here is just open dirt and open space that is kind of up for grabs in a sense. I know a couple of people still own all of this here and they don't want to give it up just because there's a bunch of riding trails back here. You can take your four-wheelers and all that stuff up in those parks to ride your RZR, your side-by-side and all that stuff. So a couple things here that I want you to pay attention to is you're not going to be super close to a whole lot. You're kind of out of the way. And to remind you guys of where we started off at, Nob Hill is way over here. Old Town is here, right? And our area is right over here. So if you live kind of like where I grew up, you know, in this area right here, you are going to be about 20 minutes away from Old Town and the other side, right? And there's really no freeway travel. This Dennis Chavez here that turns into Rio Bravo is not a freeway. It's actually just, you know, a main road that gives you access. So kind of point to reference here that you're going to want to pay attention to when we are talking about this area is going to be 98th Street that cuts across to the I-40, or you're going to take Unser, right, that gets you to the freeway as well. You got Central, you got Dennis Chavez, and then that gets you to, right, this right here, which is going to be Coors. Again, not a freeway, but these are going to be your main points of travel when you are on this side of town. So whether you want to get to the east side or to the west side, you are going to be using one of these streets. And within the traffic times, it is going to get super busy over here. So be mindful of your travel times and where you're trying to go. And if you got to get to the hospital and stuff like that, it might take you 20 to 30 minutes, all depending if you are in traffic. So with everything that this place is, it's very family friendly, very centered around the family because there's a ton of parks here. As you can see, you are going to have the Westgate Community Park, which has been renovated and done up. We call it Westgate Little League just because the Little League fields have been there forever and have been a staple of the neighborhood. And then you are going to have, you know, Sunset Park, which is a newer park on that side of town, West Mesa Memorial Park, which is super beautiful, has a nice overlook of the city. You have Tower, which is, again, I've talked about this place so much. The skate park is super popular. All the kiddos go there after school to kind of hang out, and right, because you see, right, 2 elementary schools, you have another middle school, and this is kind of like the meeting grounds for all these kiddos here. And then the high school, which is the one I graduated from, is going to be way up here, kind of like out of the way. And this place looks like a freaking college campus. It's crazy to me that the way that they built this school is super unique and super awesome. Let's change the layer up here, that way we can see just how massive this school campus is, right? And that's it right there, guys. You are going to have baseball fields, not a stadium, but you are going to have a big football field, big soccer grass field. A lot of the residents here actually are able to go here and walk the track, go run around in the park and stuff like that. But if you are looking at some of these areas, right, there's always a park somewhere tucked in these neighborhoods, right? So many different parks. This right here is going to be a big drainage ditch, and believe it, not too long ago, guys, this street right here, Unser, was just dirt at some point. From this point here to this point here is super new. They just built it within at least the past 10 years, just because they were starting to build this school and they wanted to make sure that it was convenient for the people who lived in these neighborhoods. It was super convenient for them to get to the high school instead of traveling up Gibson, then to 98th, or all the way up to 118th Street, just making it super congested for the people there in the neighborhood. So we're kind of dwelling in my old neighborhood where I grew up, and down here you are going to see that there's a Walgreens, right? Not a whole lot going on over here. There's another Walgreens over here, and then you are going to have like the Walmart right here, which is going to be a convenience area for the people in the neighborhoods. It's not going to have everything that you're looking for. And then of course you are going to have, you know, gas stations all tucked along these neighborhoods. But to emphasize where a lot more people are shopping and kind of spending their money is going to be down here in the Las Estancias shopping center, which just recently got super sick facelift, because all of this here within this little red circle used to be everything that you see in the green here, and it's owned by one family that lives right here, and it's been owned for years. And believe it or not, they gave up some more land right here. This empty lot is getting a Dutch Bros. They have a Hobby Lobby, they have a movie theater, a Starbucks, a Whataburger, a McDonald's. And the Walmart used to have the McDonald's inside of their actual store for years until they opened the one up right here on the corner. So tons of convenience on this side of town when it comes to just, you know, providing stuff for the residents within the neighborhood. And this is gonna be one of the bigger zip codes, to be honest with you guys. As you guys seen, you know, it pretty much covers all of this area right here, from Central to Dennis Chavez and everything in between, course. If you are wanting to live somewhere a little bit more affordable, something that is gonna be within reach within a single family house, you're not too worried about super unique features, you just wanna be able to provide a sustainable living and have access to some amenities, and plus you're going to be a little bit more rural with all this open space back here. So it's going to be very walkable neighborhoods with all the different parks in the area. You're going to have, you know, areas that you can get to very easily to enjoy some time outside. But let's hop off the map, take a look at the neighborhoods, and really to paint the picture, because I don't want to just seem like I'm downing this side as far as like cookie cutter, but you guys can see that it's like little dominoes. They're stacked up right against each other, and you are going to have some HOAs up in this side of town, very few, but they are going to be within here. Not going to have super massive lots like up and uphill, right? You can see that majority of the house covers the piece of dirt that it's built on. Again, really making an area where it is super affordable for people to purchase a house and own a home. That is going to be a little bit more on the newer side than versus it being, you know, close to about 100 years old. So let's hop off the map, head into the MLS, take a look at some of the homes on this side of town, which probably won't be a whole lot, to be honest with you guys. So again, we're gonna take a look at 2 to 3 and see what we got going on. Alrighty guys, now as you can see, there's a bunch of little dots here, and these dots don't really last a whole long. They move so fast because, again, it's gonna be the most affordable side of town. Now the average home on this side of town goes for under $300,000, which right now is gold. A lot of people are getting approved in that sweet range of $250,000, $300,000, and with interest rates being a little higher, that's going to be what most people can afford here. So again, no particular order. We're just going to kind of point and shoot, see what we're looking at here as far as these houses go. Let's take a look at this house right here. That's going to be right up at the top. Now at this price range at $310,000, it's just over that average price point. And that's because it's a little newer, right? It was built in 2014, so, you know, about 10 years old. All right, cool guys. So this house is gonna be around 10 years old, and this is what you can expect on that side. Very cookie cutter style, normal residential single family house. And, you know, it can either have some updates, no updates whatsoever. Looks like this guy got some updates pretty much done, and you are gonna run into these houses pretty much being the case, because these are what we call down here starter homes. For most people that are looking to purchase a house at an affordable price, this is what you're going to be looking at, right? Nice kitchen, feels very open, recessed lighting, big open windows, make that space really feel that much bigger. Yes, some of the houses still do have carpet, believe it or not. Some of us New Mexicans don't like to step on cold floor when we wake up first thing in the morning. For you people that do, y'all need help. I mean, everything that you would be looking for as far as just like basic, updated, nothing too crazy or too unique, these houses on this side of town are going to offer it to you guys. You might run into some pretty unique houses on this side of town still. I don't want to take away from that, just because, again, New Mexico's still kind of like the Wild Wild West when it comes into real estate, and you'll see like additional bedrooms added to the houses sometimes and stuff like that. But that's mainly more on the older side of the Southwest Heights, or Westgate Heights, that as Google calls it. Blank space when it comes to the backyard, not a whole lot done, and most people are looking for that because it costs a lot more to take out what somebody's already put in to add to your features and your likings. You got a back patio already up in this house, and it's super popular for these houses to have back patios, just because they started catching on that, hey, if we sell a back patio, then we can sell this house for just that much more. So it made it really easy as far as, you know, just adding another post and a couple of trusses and stuff like that to the house to add that extra patio space. So cool, right around that 300s. Looks like this house isn't gonna last long. It's a newer listing. about 1,500 square feet, standard 3-bed, 2-bath. Let's look at another house here. Alrighty, now let's hop into an older part of this community, and kind of like in that Westgate area where we're looking at some of the houses here. You are gonna have houses like this that again still look very cookie cutter, nothing crazy going on. You're looking right at under $250,000, and like I let you guys know, that is still very real here on this side of town, and that's why it's super popular to go and look for a house here. Very basic house, very basic pictures. I wish we would have got some professional photography done, but you know, that's aside me. Again, you know, very basic, standard house. Whenever I see these types of cabinets, I just think of standard living, and this little tag here looks like the house has probably been owned. The house has probably been winterized. Just in case if you guys ever see any of these tags, just have that in mind that the house has probably been owned and it's been winterized. And believe it or not, houses like this that have been bank owned come up on the market, right? And check that out. Looks like there's an extra space in the garage. That's crazy. Again, like I told you, Wild Wild West when it comes to real estate here. And watch, you'll see people that was DIY'd, right? This Walmart kind of like grade grill that was attached very nicely. So we get pretty intense when we do the DIYs. You got this DIY little dollhouse thing, little dog run in the back, and I'm sure all these trees, once they're blooming, is super green. Awesome, guys, right? Standard 1,200 square foot house. Although the space looked pretty big, to be honest with you guys, in my opinion. Didn't look like 1,200 square feet, it looked more like 15, 16. So it was pretty big, pretty comparable. And again, that standard 3-2. Let's take a look at another house here. All right, now let's take a look at what a little bit above 300 gets you guys here. Looking at 320 for this guy here, 1,800 square feet, 4 beds, 3 baths. So it's gonna be a pretty decent sized house. Can already like some of the features that we got going on here. Unique features. Again, like I tell people love to paint their front doors here. I don't know what it is. It's either red or blue or yellow if they get too crazy. Super modern looking, you know, dining area, living area kind of set apart. Open kitchen, really give you guys a chance to entertain, make that space feel real open. We're just gonna kind of run through these because everybody knows what a bedroom and stuff looks like. And when I'm having the conversation with people over our video chat, they're like, man, you can go a little bit faster. So sometimes I feel like I go too slow. So I'm just gonna kind of speed through these here. Right, standard floor plan, although that I need my readers for that. Again, backyard's all done up. You got a nice patio area, turf here, make it really easy for you guys to keep clean and entertain later in the evening or on the weekends. Solar panels are a big thing here, so keep in mind that you always want to ask when you're purchasing a house if the panels have been paid off or if they're still leased, because if they're still leased, we have to talk with that company that holds the loan to see if it's transferable, because if it's not, then most cases that seller's going to have to pay those off, or you can make a deal to where you pay off the amount that's remaining in order to purchase the house if it really makes sense. Westgate Heights has a ton to offer, from just affordable housing, some amenities, tons of parks, very family friendly, and super easy to navigate. Believe it or not, even though it's pretty much out there, kind of like on the boondocks of Albuquerque, it's still going to be pretty relatively close to everything that you need. I know 20 to 30 minutes seems far away, but that's really going to be in times of traffic. So don't shy away from this area, guys. Super awesome area to purchase a home for an affordable price. All right, now you guys have heard me talk about this area because it's tucked away in the mountains, super cool area, high desert living. And it's really going to give you a sense of being outside of the city, but being still super close to everything that you need. Again, kind of like the Westgate Heights, but this one is just a little bit bougier. And this area is going to be the Sandia Heights. It's going to be the total opposite of the Westgate area. And just to kind of paint the pictures for you guys, this is how far out you're going to be. And let me just change the layer here again for you guys. That way you guys can see exactly what we're looking at as far as, you know, the Sandia Heights and the Westgate Heights and how far it is to one another. Just to paint the picture, guys, Sandia Heights and the Westgate Heights isn't even on the map yet. So if we go down here, right on the opposite side of Albuquerque, you got the Sandia Heights. This is where we were just at. So polarizing areas, both on separate ends of Albuquerque. One actually is going to have way more amenities than the other, and it's going to be super easier to navigate because there's some tricks to this area that not a lot of people know about when it comes to travel. So let's go right back up to the Sandia Heights when it comes to navigating. A couple things that you are going to be looking at first off here is going to be tramway. This main road here that stretches all the way across the freeway, and it will take you all the way across the freeway over the river to the North Valley. And then if you want to get on the freeway, that's going to be a super convenient way for you guys to hop onto the freeway, which is just going to be right here intersecting. But if you are going to be looking for like more amenities, shopping, grocery stores and all that stuff, it's going to be all on Paseo here, which conveniently gets you all the way across to the west side. So big long line there, guys. Again, super convenient ways to travel up here. And for majority, all this stuff up here is open land. This part right here, right, this little triangle piece is still owned by the Pueblo. So you really aren't going to have a whole lot of neighbors if you are living on the outskirts over here. This is all going to be protected land, and you are going to have the casino down the street from you. So if you guys enjoy casinos, golfing, luxurious stuff like that, Sandia Resort Casino is going to be an awesome place for you guys to enjoy. So let me move my big old head out the way and just kind of hone on in on what we got to look at here in the Sandia Heights neighborhood. Tons of walking trails and tons of things to do outside, especially since you're going to be super close to the mountains. You are going to have all these little intricate trails that are tucked all along here. The Elena Gallegos open space, which is a super awesome place to go and take pictures, guys. Super beautiful, especially when that sunset starts to hit. You're going to see more photographers out there because of how beautiful it actually is. So you're going to have Bear Canyon here. And just to kind of show you guys how long Bear Canyon is, all this stretch right here is going to be Elena Gallegos and like Bear Canyon kind of connecting together, allowing you guys to enjoy some more of the outdoors. One of the more popular school districts on this side of town is going to be La Cueva. Again, you've heard me talk about this school and how known it is for its athletic programs and creating athletes. I mean, I know so much people and so many kids that have come out of there that have gone to do great things either in the major leagues or in the AAAs and stuff like that. So if you are interested in creating an athlete out of your kiddo, you might want to look into this area because this school district is going to be right up your alley. So let's zoom in and see what we can see as far as things go here on Paseo. Like I said, there's going to be a majority of the foods and all that stuff here, right? You're going to have like Trader Joe's, 1 or 2 here and only in Albuquerque. It's going to be right down the street from you guys. Kohl's, Tin Can Alley, which is a super collective of restaurants and boutique shopping that is really a bunch of big storage containers that have been put together in order to create this space. And North Domingo Park is going to be just an area that you're going to want to go and see. It's a massive park. They got like the Boba truck and Mike's Mighty Meats that goes up there, and we actually travel from the west side all the way over here about once a week to get our fix for that boba and that barbecue. That is super awesome, and this will be the only place that you can get it, because unless they're at a pop-up event, you're not going to get it anywhere else. A couple things you can tell here right off the bat is that, again, it's built like a grid. There's no way of getting lost up here unless you hit a dead-end road, which is every now and then, like this road right here. It's not on the map, but I sold a house off of that street there off of Oakland Ave about 2 years ago, and it's a dead end because the school kind of takes over the space here and really makes it convenient for the homeowners in the area to be able to access the school. So now let's take a look at, bird's eye view of what we got going on here. And what we're looking at is the neighborhoods up here, right? You got like everything that you could imagine when it comes to living up in the mountains and bigger lots. And believe it or not, there's some ordinances on this side of town where, some fencing is permittable, no street lights. You are not able to install big floodlights or anything like that because it distracts away from the beauty. Because if you are living up here, more up at the top of the hill, you are going to have nice views of Albuquerque. And a couple places that you're going to want to pay attention to here be, right, the skating rink, the ice skating rink, which houses New Mexico Ice Wolves, and then the County Line Barbecue, which is also another awesome place. And if you want to travel up to the tram, obviously Tramway Road is going to be where you're going to want to come and get your daredevilness out of you. Longest tram in the world, built right in our backyard. And for everybody that knows, Steve-O like hand stand on top of it, and actually Steve-O lived down here for a while and kind of got his start here, and I got a couple buddies that are actually friends with him. It's pretty cool to see that him coming back and still kind of being a part of the community. But if you are looking to live like super tucked away, this neighborhood right here is going to be something that you're going to want to look into. And these houses hardly ever go up for sale, so if you ever get the opportunity to, you're just going to enjoy living there. So let's see if we can actually get into those neighborhoods. So let's dive right into the neighborhoods and take a look for ourselves. Again, very rural, right? You're going to have different kinds of pull-offs for people. See that house way back there tucked away up in the mountainside. And even though you don't, this might be out of your price range, or you just don't want to live in, you know, super crazy houses like this, or live up in the mountains, because living up in the mountains, you are going to be dealing with critters. You know, there's going to be bears, a lot of deer, raccoons, mountain lions from time to time. If you're not down with dealing with all of that, and mountain style living isn't going to be your thing, man, see, I keep getting hit by bushes. This is pretty annoying. Let me see if I can, there we go. I believe they do that purposely because they like to keep the houses hidden. I don't know if it's like something with the neighborhood, or if it's just some of these homeowners, they just like to feel super secluded. And again, right, you're gonna have that high desert kind of living, the shrubs, the yuccas, the desert grass, the evergreen pines, super long driveways, because the majority of these houses are built on top of hills. And I mean, who wouldn't want to pull up into a driveway like this, coming home after work, having this amazing view of the city at night, right? It looks like this house probably has like a balcony or a porch or something up in here. So it's going to be something worth looking into. And look at that, for sale. So if you guys want to buy a piece of dirt, there's a lot of dirt available up there. Just keep in mind that it is going to be a hefty price tag for that. And plus we got to look into tapping into utilities and all that stuff. So if this is pretty much you sold that you want a view like this, let me know. We can help you find that area. But let's hop into the MLS, take a look at some of the homes out there and check out prices. Okay, now we got the MLS all pulled up. Everything's nice and neat. Looking at this area as a whole, you can kind of see the space that's available up here. And again, right, you got all these different little landmarks and these different areas that are super tucked in there that we would have never even thought about. So kind of picking off where we left off, that area that we were looking at is just right up here. Now, again, the heftier price tag on this side of town is very real. Now, on average, the houses go for in the low 400s up here. I can guarantee you that there's gonna be very little of that, but just as a collective, it's gone for that within the past year. So let's take a look at this house here. Now, again, right, the price point is gonna be up there, of course, the more tucked in you are into the mountain. And I can already assume that they're selling the view on this, right, at over just $1 million. This house is probably gonna be super southwestern, very high desert living, super incredible views, right? Look at that sunset. First thing that they're selling you on is the sunset over the mountains right in your backyard. I can just imagine myself just, you know, over here, nice cup of coffee, some tea or whatever, or up here in the evening, in the morning or whatever, just enjoying the views that I get from my front yard. And again, very Pueblo style, southwest with the brick, very open trusses. This is more like that southwestern modern look that we're starting to see become very popular. Right, these are called kivas, not fireplaces, kivas. They have a specific name and they're super awesome. A lot of windows, don't want to obstruct any kind of view from your living room, because sometimes you just don't want to be outside because it might either be super windy, super cold, or snowing or raining or whatever. Nice open kitchen, got all these updated. Oh man, they got a fancy fridge here. They got a rich people fridge, we call them over here, with, you know, nice decor, probably stainless steel fridge, super cool, double ovens. And they really did a great job of really creating the space and really emphasizing on the living here. Got another kiva in your master bedroom with nice views right outside of your door. I could have just assumed that the bathroom probably has the same, probably a bathtub with some awesome views. Yep, see, there you go, shower. And I can just imagine getting all cleaned up and looking at the view in the morning and just enjoying my slow mornings that I never really have. Man, it looks like every room has a kiva or a fireplace in it. Oh, kind of like a mother-in-law quarters. Look at that, super cool. Got its own stove, its own little kitchenette, bathroom and area and all that stuff. Got its own door access here, so if you got like a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, or an older kiddo, this is gonna be a super cool space for them to have and enjoy. Got their own stove, fridge, sink, dishwasher. I mean, even for that price tag, I might figure out a way how to purchase a house like this so I can stick my kiddo down there, give them their own space, because sometimes they'd be all up in the kitchen eating all the snacks. Man, that backyard view of the mountains, that's exactly what they're selling there. Of course, the space, over 5,000 square feet. It's gonna be a big house, 5 bedrooms, 4 bath. There's gonna be a lot to offer here, guys. This house was built to entertain, you know, house different generations. It's like kind of like a multi-generational house, and something that you hold on to forever. So, you know, whoever is selling this house is probably moving out of state, or they inherited it and it's just too much for them. And I can just imagine the upkeep and the bills on this type of house would be a lot, just because it's so massive and so big, but totally worth it. You got a massive driveway and all that stuff. So let's hop right back in and see if we can see something else a little bit more closer to the city, see if we can find a different price tag on one of these houses here. So around, you know, that high 700s, again, flat roofs, Pueblo style, super popular on this side of town. Looks like they got a pool and everything here. They're gonna really emphasize the natural features of the area in these houses, right? The woods, the dirt colors, the browns, the greens, and all that stuff, the whites. And really, with this house being built the way that it is, it's really making the best of the space as possible. I'd really be interested just to walk the floor plan, to see what it looks like, to see, you know, what parts of the house are a little bit older, what are newer. I can tell that these floor heaters, right, the house has been up there for a minute. So really keep in mind that there's a lot of older houses up there too, and you are going to be paying, again, for the area, your views, and everything that Sandia Heights community has to offer. All right, so getting closer to the average price point, you know, $500,000 here. Looking at this home right here, around $500,000, 1,800 square feet, 3 beds, 2 bath, again, Pueblo, New Mexico style, right? Brown sells around here is what they say. And you can just tell that the home is a little dated, a little older, but it has some unique features, again, right? Like, this is super crazy, this fireplace, right, that leads right into this living kind of area, formal living area right up at the front. Again, floor heaters, really dates the house. So, right, natural exposed beams. You know, the house has been updated, but not a whole lot, little untouched, in my opinion, which makes it very awesome because it's almost like a blank canvas. I don't know, what do you guys think? All right, got that old tile and a red sink. That's crazy, huh? Carpet throughout pretty much of the bedrooms here. Got this mosaic tile kind of looking stuff on the floor. You know, houses in this price range around this $500,000 mark, although it is closer to the average, you know, they might need some updating, a little bit of love to kind of get it up to where it's a little bit more modern. You know, you got some better features there as far as, you know, being up to date goes. But looks like this house is next to a park. So, you know, you being on this main road, corner house next to a park, why not? Like, man, super cool and convenient house. I've actually seen this house in person, to be honest with you guys, because I've actually made some of our videos in that park, and I've actually shot some drone footage of this landscape here. So super awesome to see you guys. And wrapping all this up, guys, you know, with Sandia Heights being super close to the mountains, you got Nob Hill that is a little bit more urban. You got that kind of up and coming, you know, cultural vibe. And then you got the Southwest and Westgate Heights that is going to be more family friendly, going to be more of that cookie cutter residential, more affordable areas. We touched on, you know, a little bit of everything that Albuquerque has to offer. And again, we'll be doing more of these kind of videos, so be on the lookout. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about, you know, doing these map tours, doing some of these MLS walkthroughs, and how we can help you guys out. Alrighty guys, we went over some of the top areas that more people are moving to in Albuquerque here in 2024. So if you are interested in moving to any of these places, again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And as much as I love doing this, I would love to help you out with your real estate needs. So feel free to reach out. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my weekend, have fun with the fam. It's a nice, beautiful day outside. It feels like spring, so we can't wait to see you down here to enjoy this awesome weather too. Catch you next time. Peace.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray.